science is all around you. So when you're making bread, you can use beer or you can use sugar and yeast. And it's quite similar when you use either one. They both produce CO2, and that's what helps the bread rise. So when you use something like a beer, this already has yeast in it. So you pour this in here. You can see the CO2 or the carbonation in it, and it's the same as when you let sugar and yeast sit in a bowl with some warm water, and it produces CO2 bubbles. And what this does for the bread is that it allows it, the CO2 gets trapped in the gluten, and that's what helps the bread rise as you let it sit. So with beer bread, this step is taken out, and you can just put it straight into the oven and let it cook, and it rises in there. Now with bread made with yeast and sugar, that has to, you have to knead it to make sure all this is worked in. Let it rise so that it gives it shape, gives it volume. Take it back out and knead it again just to make sure all the CO2 is worked into its place, and just make sure it's all around in it, and then let it proof again so it can rise again to make sure any leftover CO2 gets into it. Now this since it uses sugar, yeast, and mainly water and some type of flavoring like wheat, its alcohol content is cooked off in the oven. Now this is also producing ethanol alcohol too. So it's the same with this. It will be baked off in the oven when you cook it, and depending on what type of beer you use, depending on flavor, any type at all, will affect the flavor of the bread. So if you're using a sweeter beer, it's going to give it a little bit of a sweeter taste, but you still need to put sugar in it because there's still yeast in here. And that extra sugar will help the yeast eat, produce more CO2. And then, when you bake it, alcohol's baked off, so it's completely safe. It's not going to harm you if you eat beer bread. It's a lot easier to make. They're both good. They're both. This one's a little bit more of a challenge, but this one's a little bit easier if you want something that's a little bit quicker and can get done easier. Don't underage drink. That's not good. Yeah, this is brought to you by Food Science.